My husband is not attracted to me anymore. 5 foolproof steps to get his love and affection back. In this video, I wanted to share about a problem that I see so many women have after a few years of marriage. It seems that in the beginning, when they started dating, the husband was all over them, was admiring them, wanted to be all the time close, wanted to be all the time intimate. And when they are a few years married, suddenly he loses interest. He rather go play golf with his buddies than be with his wife. He sometimes even is not even intimately attracted to her anymore. And many women think, oh, it's because, I have my belly doesn't look good because of my children, or I gained weight, or I have wrinkles. But that's not the case. What I see happening much more is that women do one thing wrong, and that is disrespecting their man. But wait, before you stop the video, hear me out. I used to be in the exact same position about 3 years ago. I had a wonderful relationship with my then boyfriend, but I did not understand why he seemed to more and more grow resentment towards me. And I felt this always underlying in our relationship. And intimately, even he didn't want to be close with me anymore, but he couldn't even pinpoint it. So I had to dig really deep to save this relationship. And I realized those 5 things that I was doing wrong on a daily basis to make him feel so disrespected and to make him literally resent me. And resentment, being disrespected, are 2 things that are a turn-off for a man immediately. So let me explain. And I'm now a relationship coach, and I help women with exactly this topic. So these are golden tips that can really help you turn your relationship around. So let's get started. So the first tip is let him be in charge of his life. Very important is that in the first period of time when you were dating, you were not telling him what to do, how to dress, how he should appear at work, how he should talk with his friends and family. Basically, you were not acting like his mom, because that is what really turns him off immediately. Think about it, that he is an absolute capable man, and if he wants to feel strong and masculine and have a good sex drive and be attracted to you, you cannot make him feel like he's a little boy and he can't even clean the kitchen properly, right? And of course, he will have different ways of doing things, and sometimes you don't agree with it, but this is the price that you have to pay for attraction. You have to give up a little bit of control and let him do things his way, but at the same time, you're going to get your affectionate, driven, fun, and passionate man back. And I think that's a really good exchange. And trust me, if you're giving up a bit the control and stop telling him his appointments, stop telling him, when to wake up, all those little things that we women do, he is going to find his way. He's not going to mess up his life. He simply takes charge. It's just the same mechanism as with moms and boys. When the moms are constantly micromanaging a little boy's life, he's also not going to get independent. It's exactly the same mechanism. But you have to trust him. He definitely can take care of himself. And the side benefit is that you're going to have a so much more relaxing life. Step number 2, make space for him in the house. This is a lesson that I had to learn so much because I'm this kind of a woman. I love to make a house beautiful. It's one thing that makes me really happy. So I have the tendency to take over all parts of the house. And we now have a clear rule that my husband in his office, that I don't change anything there. That's his space. I don't go into his drawers. He can do whatever he wants there. And if we have a bigger house, we want to have a workshop for him, like a gym for him, like a lot of spaces where he can basically do whatever he wants. And so I would make an agreement with him that maybe there's a drawer that he just doesn't want you to even open. And I think that is very, very important because, again, how can you feel like a masculine, strong leader, which is so important for attraction, if you are, again, in his space like a mom would be, cleaning, looking up, even sorting out, maybe throwing his things away? That is an attraction killer. All right, step number 3, keep a respectful tone. Again, this is something that I had to learn, and I'm applying this now for about 2 years, and it has absolutely changed our marriage. Absolutely. So what this means is that when you're communicating on a daily basis, and especially when you are in conflict, that you try to keep talking to him in a respectful way as much as possible, especially when there's a conflict, especially when you feel a bit triggered. The reason is that imagine him at work when he's maybe managing some people, maybe he has people under him, or even with his colleagues. Most of the time in a normal work environment, there will be respect all the time. People will respect him. So he feels like a leader at work. And if he comes home and immediately you are going to nag at him, you're gonna criticize him all the time, you're gonna belittle him, and you use this disrespectful tone, he is gonna feel that, why is everyone at work respecting me, and at home I feel like a little naughty boy that all the time has done something wrong. And of course, this is also a two-way road. So if disrespectful tone is an issue in your relationship, I would definitely recommend for you to both work on your communication, because intimacy can never develop if you constantly are fighting each other and basically create a completely unsafe and unrelaxing environment. So peaceful communication is one of the most important steps for real intimacy to flourish. Then step number 4 is only talk about him in a positive way, no matter if he's there or not. So I completely stopped trash talking men. This used to be my hobby when I was younger. I was in a very unhealthy women's group when I was around like late teenage years, and we would always trash talk men. How emotionally unintelligent they are, how stupid they are, how superficial they are. But we all wanted to have a beautiful, connected relationship. Guess why we never had it, right? Because we had all this negative energy around us in regards to men. And of course, they can feel it. Even if your husband can't hear you, he will feel it on a subconscious way that you are trash talking him, and he is going to be immediately turned off. It would be the same way around. Imagine you know that he always, when he is with his buddies playing golf or doing other things, that he's just like, my wife, she's such a bitch, oh my god, she's so bossy. Like, this is a horrible energy to bring. And I think you should just think about your own integrity. How do you want to be in regards to your marriage? Do you want to be loyal? Do you want to be a real team? Or do you want to be sleazy and go behind his back? And this will benefit all relationships for all men. I stopped it completely. I'm not going to talk about my dad, any male friends. I'm not going to trash talk men with women. I have stopped this. And connected with this is also when you are in social situations, that you don't make any jokes about him that belittle him, that will disrespect his masculinity, that you don't talk about his mistakes in front of your friends, that you don't share about his feelings in front of your friends. All these things make men, again, feel disrespected, like they're little boys, and like you are telling intimate details of their life, and especially mistakes that make them feel small. And that's a sure way to cut his affection, his love, and his desire for you, because he will be most attracted to a woman that always lifts him up, that talks about him in admiring ways, that always makes sure that everyone knows that she is loyal to this man and she wants to be with him, and she absolutely is a fan of him. That is what makes a man attracted. And then the 5th point is to ask for his advice. So this is such a beautiful thing when you start bringing this into your relationship, because men love to feel useful. So asking for his advice will make him feel as though you really respect his opinion, that you really think that he is a man that you trust, and he is going to repay you this in like 1,000 ways. So This again was for me such a game changer, because how I was brought up was that I had a very critical dad, and I always thought I need to prove to him that I can do things by myself. But I realized that I actually completely destroyed our connection, because actually my dad wanted me to ask his advice. This would be a way for him to open up. So with my husband, it was the same thing. And then, yeah, about 2 years ago, I learned this, how powerful it is. And it's absolutely amazing. And he's never makes me feel condescended or upon, or that I'm stupid. I know that both my dad and my husband think very highly of me, but they also love it when I ask their opinion, because again, it makes them feel that I think highly of them. So it's so beautiful. So those were the 5 steps. Again, to recap: let him be in charge of his own life, make space for him in the house, keep a respectful tone, only talk about him in a positive way, and ask for his advice. If you do this, I promise you, he's gonna come crawling to you. He's gonna be so attracted to you. And if you want more support, I have an amazing live online course coming up, which will launch in September 2023. So in just a little while. And it's called Polarity, and I'm gonna teach you the foundations of attraction between the masculine and the feminine. No matter if you're dating or if you're in a relationship, this course will teach you how to become irresistible to the opposite sex. And the foundation of this we have talked about today. This is respect. And then, of course, there's a counterpart towards women. What can men do to make women really attracted? And that is actually to treat them with a lot of cherishing, emotional connection, and basically making her feel like she's the most special woman in the world. But yeah, we're gonna go really deep there. So if you're interested, save your spot now, click the link, and you're also gonna get a few bonuses, very cool bonuses, for signing up early on the waitlist. So that was awesome. Thank you so much for listening, and I really wish that you have a beautiful, wonderful relationship. And it's really my dream that women learn again how to treat the masculine, and so that we create a beautiful world where couples are much more happy and much more connected. All right, all the best. See you in the next video.